Good morning, everybody. I've had to take a couple of weeks off and fix some things I found wrong in the last sport before I could do the videos. So we're going to do a trial one today. We're going to look at Houston, Texas, and we're going to study why you can't find good paying jobs in Houston, Texas. Anyway, if you go to guestworkervisas.com, on the right hand side over here, you'll see top companies depriving you of jobs in your city. Click on that, enter Houston, TX, and then spell out Texas. And this will pull all the data for Houston, Texas. There's a lot of data to pull, so it'll take a second or two. But I think you'll find in the long run it's well worth it because it'll give you all the information. If you're struggling out there and all you're finding is convenience store jobs and grocery store jobs and stuff like that, and you want to build a family, you want to buy a house and all this stuff, you can't do it on a $10 an hour job. So anyway, we'll pull up a map here. Now, one thing I want to show you, there's a filter by visa types here. There's four types of visas we follow. That's the H-1B, the H-2A, the PERM, and H-2B. If you click on H-2B, it'll show you any H-2B visas. The easy way to zoom in is click on one of these over there, and then using your mouse wheel, zoom back out a little bit till you get the whole city. These are all the H-2B. These are your low paying, your landscape labor, your counter attendants and food concessions, uh, automotive technicians, landscape, HVAC helpers. Those are all those type of jobs. Now let's look at the H-2A. There is one. Agricultural nursery worker. 15.55 an hour. I think there's some people in Houston working for $9 or $10 an hour that would like to make $15 an hour. A lot of people say that's not true. There doesn't appear to be any perms. So we'll pull all the visas out. As you can see, Houston's pretty well covered up. You can click on any one of these and it'll tell you who it is, what they're paying. Apparently, Solar Service Experts LLC is paying a data engineer $126,381. You know, I know a lot of people would be willing to work for that. I would. I haven't made that kind of money in years. Anyway, let's go down below now. What companies sent the jobs overseas? Well, Baker Hughes, 10,000 back in 1987. Here's one going to China. Oh, Foxconn. Remember when Foxconn was going to build all kinds of manufacturing plants in Houston, and they were given huge tax incentives to do that and all that? They were going to hire Americans to do work in America. Well, what do you know? Back in 2014, they sent 3,175 jobs to China. A lot of information there, folks. How about those important H-1B visa holders? Let's look at Accenture. I hear Accenture does a lot for Americans. Let's find out what they actually do. So if we click on that, it'll bring up a list of executive officers. If you want to find out what these executive officers are getting paid to deprive you of good paying jobs in Houston, Texas, this is where you go. Let's see, the chair and chief executive officer, Julie Sweet. You want to see a picture of her? There you go. But we make it easy for you. Do everything you want to do. Huh. What's going on here? Oh, it opened up in a new screen for some reason. That's unusual. We'll have to fix that. If you want to find more information about the chief executive officers, the Americas, it's Manish Sharma. There he is, right there. Go back. All kinds of information you can see. As you can see, Julie got paid almost $25 million last year to destroy your future by depriving you of jobs in America. Now, how do I say they're depriving you of jobs? Well, if you're not allowed to compete for these jobs, that means you're not considered for these jobs, which means you're deprived of these jobs. You need to think about that, folks. And right below it, we show a map, same map you've seen before, but this time showing only Accenture, because that's the company we're looking at. And it'll show you every location there in Houston. Pretty good information, guys. You can't get this anywhere else. So let's go back now. Top companies, important non-immigrant networkers in H2A. Pure Beauty Farms, 204 jobs. I haven't done much with the dollars deprived yet because these are hourly jobs that I got to do all kinds of conversions. I can multiply it times 2,080 hours and this type of stuff. Divide it by 12 again. And so far, there just hadn't been a need for it. So I mainly want to show you how many jobs you're deprived of. Same thing on H2B. Now here's a big one. Top possible government agencies. Now the government agencies have an employer name and a secondary employer name. And we want you to see what's out there. Let's click on that first one, Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center. 200 jobs. I've still got to change this map to the same map I'm using for other ones. But as you can see, there's a lot. We have all kinds of information out there. Secondary employer name, Texas Medical Center. If you get a single marker like this and you want to see what's going on, click on the satellite deal, zoom your picture out a little bit, and you can see exactly where they work. Pretty neat, huh? We make it all possible for you. Now, another thing you need to hear is like Texas especially will brag to say, hey, we created 30,000 jobs last month. If you'll work your way through this thing right here and read the final two lines, you'll find that, and this is updated every month when the unemployment data comes out, you'll find that the foreign born is 19.4% of the workforce. They've received 47.9% of jobs created since January 2007. Americans like you and me are 80.6% of the workforce. We only received 52.1% of the jobs. So if Texas tells you they created 30,000 jobs, you can right off the tip of your finger say that actually Americans in Texas or Texans in Texas got 15,000 jobs. How's that good for America? How's that good for Texans? This next section here, job gains between 2023 and 2024. There's two things I want you to pay attention here. All occupations, the first line. We created 2,333,510 jobs last year. Now this is important that you understand that because I say all the time that we create 2 million jobs on average. And we have 4 million high school graduates wanting those 2 million jobs. And we have 6 million, actually 11 million in 2024 non-immigrant visas issued. Not all of them are working, but the ones that want to work are wanting those 2 million jobs. And trust me, there's more than 2 million of them. The next thing I want you to hear about, everybody's, especially the computer industry right now, they can't figure out why they can't find jobs. Folks, last year we created 15,490 computer jobs. We had 566,993 H-1B applications for those 15,490 jobs. Architecture and engineering ain't much better. This is why you can't find jobs in Houston, Texas, or in America. You really want to break it down for those of you that vote? Break all that data down by the Texas Congressional District. And if you really want to break it down, and you want to see, for instance, these 3 residential properties in Texas 1, congressional district, you can click on that, and it'll pull you up a map showing you where they're at. Here's one for Sales USA, a marketing manager. And you can't tell me we don't have any Americans that are willing to work as a marketing manager for $55,000 a year. Just, I just won't believe you. I know a lot of people would love to have $55,000 a year. If you want the details for it, it's down here right below it. We do everything we can to make it possible for you to understand why you can't find good paying jobs in America. Now, the main thing, you go to college and you get your degree from these schools. At the very least, they've trained you. They should be willing to hire you. Their jobs don't pay bad. Some of them are 67,000. Here's one for 133,000. Hell, here's one for over almost 2 million. Assistant professor. Yet you can't apply for those jobs. Therefore, you are deprived of these jobs by these college, schools, and universities in Houston, Texas. The information's all there, folks. Math teacher, computer teacher. It's all there. Now, for those interested in finding out how many jobs we actually created in Texas last year, we had 288,930 jobs created in Houston, Texas. 5,590 of them were computer and mathematical occupations. 9,350 were architecture and engineering. See how this works? All this information's there. I put it up there. I make it easy for you. I do it for many reasons. Number one, I want you to have a good paying future. Number two, I'm running for Senate as a Republican against John Cornyn and Ken Paxton because neither one of them will discuss jobs with you. They are perfectly content to send your jobs overseas and import non-immigrant guest workers to take your jobs here at home, leaving you nothing but crumbs. I'm not. Just not willing to do it. I think you deserve better. Websites, guest worker visas. My name is Virgil. You can find us at guestworkervisas.com or VB Senate, either one. I will answer you. You'll find my email address on there. I will respond to you. I want to know your questions about why you can't find jobs in Texas. Any city, Houston, Austin, Dallas, wherever. Even the smaller towns, Kerrville. They've got visa holders there. If you're having a problem finding good paying jobs and you want to talk about it, I'm all ears. Give me a shout. Thank you. Bye.